Yay! Hello, everybody. It's been a while. We had to reschedule this game out a couple of times. Tonight we are talking about Mahjong. And with me tonight is Robert, but he just walked away from
I'm
his...
here, I promise.
Okay, Robert. We might have a few others, but if not, then it's just us. So I wanted to start it off by saying that this is our last episode of this, our second year doing this, and I guess next season, I want to definitely improve GameOut a lot more, look for suggestions from people out there, and just play some more cool new games, more tabletop games, more like Steam games and stuff like that, and have lots more fun. So maybe have other new people that you haven't seen before. So that'd be cool. Anyways, real quick, I want to share my Mahjong bracelet that I got in Chinatown. It's a little old. It's kind of like really too big, but I love this thing. So that's my spirity thing that I'm wearing this evening. Robert.
Maybe you can show off something else you got.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's that? Whoa.
Oh.
Oh. Yes, I got my engagement ring finally. So yay.
Finally got her engagement ring.
I'm excited about that.
About darn time.
Yep. So, Robert.
Yes.
You've been playing Mahjong much longer than I have. When did you start? How young were you? And what got you interested?
Let's see. I think I initially found Mahjong when I was in high school. I'm trying to think exactly what inspired the purchase. You know, because okay, what I'm thinking is, let me take you on a little adventure. I was watching the movie. I remember watching the movie Big Trouble in Little China, and at the beginning of the movie, when Kurt Russell's character and the other guy, I can't remember his name, but they were all at this like fish market, and they were all playing this game and with tiles. And I learned later that that game was called Pai Gao, but I'm trying to recall if that's what eventually led me to Mahjong. But in any case, gosh, I don't even remember exactly where I found it. But the first copy of it that I received, I guess the only copy, because it's the only one I have, I received from my grandma. Huh?
Share it.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I do not have a copy.
It's our copy, Sonia.
It's our copy, yes.
So my first copy of Mahjong I got from my grandma, and for those of you that aren't familiar, it is a tile-based game, and the tiles have these really pretty symbols on it. And anyways, I got the game from my grandma, and it came with a rule booklet, but it was like directly translated from probably Chinese or some Chinese language, Chinese region language, and it was very difficult to read. And because the game kind of requires 4 people to play, it was very difficult for me to find anyone who wanted to try and learn it with me. So I actually really didn't get to play it in full until much later. Actually, years later, probably in the last year, I finally met someone who knew how to play. They taught me, and we had other people to play with, and we figured out how to play, and it was actually a lot of fun.
For some reason, I thought you had been playing for a long time. You seemed like when you taught me that you knew already. But
Well,
yeah.
I think it's. I mean, I played probably 5 or 6 times before teaching you how to play, and I have just recently learned. So the rules and some of the nuances I was already kind of familiar with. But it's also not. In a lot of ways, we have kind of all played this game before. It's really just gin rummy.
Mhm.
You're just trying to create combinations um, that match up, and you're trying to get a winning hand. So the difference is that you're playing with tiles, and that's really it. So I think if I fooled you into thinking that I had been playing for a long time, it's because I was confident in how the game was played, because I've basically played the game before. Um, a lot of people have.
Yeah, for me, as far as like getting into it, I really just wanted to play because I've always seen like the little old ladies always playing at like restaurants and like in the park, and I imagine myself as a little old lady later on in my life playing Mahjong, and I figure I need to learn now or to actually be good then, because I want to be like the sneaky one that wins all the time or something like that. I don't know, because that's all I have to live for when I'm super old.
Jeez. I hope that's not all you have to live for.
But also I'm super super into like everything like Asian everything. Um, so I just really wanted to learn. My first experience with Mahjong actually wasn't really Mahjong. It's on addicting games where you like match the tiles together, and they're
Mhm.
all layered on top of each other, and you have to like find them, and you have to do it in a certain way to get all of them. Else you get stuck and then you lose.
Mhm.
And that kind of made me obsessed with actually like playing it for reals. Um, and I just really like the tiles. I like the textile, like just touching them, and I just like the simplicity of the whole thing too.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of
And,
what drew me to it.
and it's funny because when you ask people like, "Hey, have you ever played mahjong?" Or you want to learn how to play mahjong, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know how to play it." And it's because they're thinking about that kind of like internet version of mahjong where you're basically matching tiles to remove them,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
not memory.
it's it's um it's a mahjong solitaire is really what that is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it is pretty funny that most people know mahjong for that game, that
Mhm.
kind of version of it.
And it's funny. Even though that game was so simple, it was so extremely addicting to me. I would play it constantly,
Hmm.
and it's the same thing over and over again. But it couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I eventually had to like just go, okay, there are other games. I have to play other games. I can't always mean my default is this
Mhm.
little game. Like when I just want to sit there and just go, nah, my brain, just want to not really think too much, but still kind of use my brain. So I would play that game, but then I thought, I probably should actually learn how to play the actual game. So yeah, that's my motivation for it.
The other thing is that I found kind of interesting was that because even though it's fundamentally gin rummy, um, the game you feel more. It's more exciting because you're playing with the tiles.
Hmm.
And I think that's what was kind of part of the allure for me was like, wow, it's not cards, it's not a board game, it's like dominoes, which is uh, totally different on its own, but it's different than dominoes. And there's something about the shape of
They're
you
thick
know,
too. It's not like dominoes where they're real thin.
yeah,
They're
exactly.
just
They've got a pretty
yeah.
thick body to them, and these are like the kind of the smaller or average size. They have some that are a little bigger, and then there's some that are actually bigger than that. And you know, the the suits and the numbers on the front are pretty much the same across all of them, but the colors they use and some of the designs and stuff like that are a little different, and it's really neat. And if we come to it, I'd love to tell you about some of the research I found when trying to find another set.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, talking about how it's when you play board games and when you play any kind of like PC games or console games, I think anything tabletop and including now Mahjong, I on a lot of levels enjoy it more because I really do like to play with pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And while I really do enjoy playing PC games and console games, it misses out on that human element. Also the face-to-face element.
Right, yeah.
You just don't really get that in any other way. And I think that's why in recent years too I've find myself more interested in doing any kind of tabletop gaming than I actually do PC or console gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's so much faster too. Like I just want to pick up a game and take it out. As long as you have someone to play with you.
Yeah.
It's a lot, faster, and I feel like almost more instant gratification in a way, even though you wouldn't think so. But in a way, it is. And
you get to playing and experiencing it much quicker. And there's also, I think, a finer line between when the game starts and ends, because you're talking about the game, before you play it. You're setting up the game. You're getting into it, and it's kind of I guess it's a fuller experience in some ways.
Mm-hmm. And if I do become good at it one day, and I do when I'm an old lady, it'll force me to actually look at real people. I won't become like a crazy reclusive old lady with my cats and sitting behind my computer in the dark, because that's how our generation will be probably.
Yeah.
Most of us. Those will be the old people in the dark on their computers, ignoring civilization.
Yeah.
So, give us a little bit. You're better at the history and actually the mechanics of Mahjong. If anyone out there has no idea how it works, could you give a little bit of
how it's played?
Yeah, and maybe I don't know. I mean, I guess we could pull up some kind of fact sheet on how old is it really, because it's ancient.
Well, let me explain how the game's played and a little bit about how it's different in different regions, if you want to pull up a fact sheet.
Okay.
So, Mahjong, like I said, is like Gin Rummy, where everyone takes turns drawing a tile and then discarding a tile. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically finish a hand. And a hand is, depending on what you play, is usually it's 3 or 4 sets of 3 of a kind, or straights, 1, 2, 3, and then a pair of something. And there's specific names for that I've already forgotten. But once your hand contains say 4 straights or 3s of a kind and a pair, the game ends. You call Mahjong, you reveal your hand, and you're awarded points, basically, if you're going to play multiple games, or you are the winner if you finish a hand like that. The first person to finish a hand. Now, in different regions and with different people, they'll play it where you sometimes have a smaller hand, so you only need 3 straights or 3 of a kinds and a pair, or you'll do even more, like 5 3s or straights and then another pair. It has a lot to do with how long you want the game to be, and the experience is a little bit different. There's also, like I mentioned, the points. Points and how points are scored is a little different depending on the region. In my research, I found that there are kind of two big schools of Mahjong, and there's the Chinese way of playing and the Japanese way of playing. They both function very similar, except in the Japanese version, they have red fives. So there are certain tiles that are basically number 5, and there's some that are red, and those provide additional points when they appear as like a modifier tile. It's all kinds of crazy points or rules. You just kind of have to look it up. But you can also in the Japanese version of Mahjong, you can also at some point in the game kind of make a bet, place a bet that you're going to be able to finish your hand by drawing a tile instead of taking a tile, and which are different things. Taking a tile is basically a tile that someone discarded. You'll take it and you can use it. But if you're betting that you're going to draw the tile that you need, and you're correct, you get a bunch more points. If you're incorrect, then you're kind of in trouble, because you can no longer take tiles from the center if you choose to do that. So you kind of backed yourself into a corner. I was talking to some people that it's different in Taiwan. It's different in the Philippines. It's different in Germany. A lot of different regions play it differently, and there's even some even more sub cultures surrounding Mahjong that elaborated even more. So there's that.
I like that because the rules are fairly simple, that it could lead to a lot of modification. You could add more to it. I wonder if, like, I'm sure people have this, but if they have like house rules for Mahjong in certain cases, and there could even be even that culture of it is so like tiny, compared to the base like idea of the game. Could just keep going. That's really interesting. I have the fact sheet. Pretty much, like, I guess what they're saying is that there's a lot of mythology behind when the game came into existence. Some people have theories that Confucius invented it, but there's really no definite proof to that. And it says actually that there's really no evidence that it existed before the 1880s. So it could potentially be really old or not. But I guess there were a lot of games that came before that that could have inspired the modern version of Mahjong.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which ones they are. And there were a lot of card games too.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't necessarily using the tiles. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to say how old it is.
I'm curious to know why they chose tiles over cards. If it was ever a card game that turned into a tile game, or if it went directly to tile, and if that was the case, why? Because my first thought would be, well, that seems like a pretty expensive endeavor to create tiles for a game this simple. But if it was a game maybe intended for rich people, aristocratic people, then they're going to create something that's going to be real nice and.
That's what I was thinking, because especially if they were ever made of ivory, then
yeah, which
sure.
They were.
Yeah, so that would be something that I would think that the rich would probably have. It's not really saying, like. I don't know. Let me look at this one real quick. Yeah. I don't know. As far as like playing Mahjong or even knowing how to play before that, Um, has it or ever or currently inspired you to create other games based off of its mechanic, or even just kind of inspired you to make something like a tabletop game that has a tile application or something
I
like that?
I would love to make a game that uses tiles, just because I've played Mahjong with cards before, and even though it was the same game, it was not fun.
Hmm.
It was like playing gin rummy, which if you like it, great, but for me it's not an exciting game. But playing with the tiles for some reason just makes it so much more exciting. Like that's worth it. Like, ooh, I'm just gonna touch tiles. It doesn't matter how I'm doing it. So I would love to make a game, especially if it could somehow leverage or be better because of tiles. But I think the problem is that manufacturing that would be tough. Like
The
prototype wouldn't
expense.
be too hard, but manufacturing that could be very difficult and definitely costly.
Right.
But developing a game that is like Mahjong, like functionally, mechanically, would be like developing a game like um, Gin Rummy, and that doesn't really interest me all that much.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. I guess that is really the ultimate appeal, at least for me, is just that the tile aspect to it. So, yeah, if you were to create some other game that just it doesn't even have to have the mechanics of the same kind of thing, but or even inspired by it, but to have the tiles would be cool. But then, like you said, manufacturing that would be expensive, and
Mm,
it would be well. I'm sure you could find somebody to do it, but I don't know. I mean, with the game Mahjong's already out there, and they have like a million, different beautiful sets. I don't know if people necessarily would want to purchase a different game with tiles. I don't know.
yeah, like an existing game, but now it's with tiles.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually an interesting thought. I think Uno could actually be really fun with tiles, and I
Wait,
think
which
they
one?
actually Uno.
Uno. Yeah.
I think that could be fun with tiles, and I actually think there is.
A
Hold
tile
on.
version of that.
Yeah, I believe there is an
That'd be
Uno
fun.
tile. Yep, looks like there are Uno tiles. Uno, Rummy Up.
Send me a link. I want to look at it.
Let's see.
That's cool.
Let me go
Or
to.
you can screen share it and share it with the world.
Yeah,
Uno
hold on.
tiles.
Go to. That's pretty funny.
There's a dog moving behind me.
Uno tile. Oops. So I don't know if it's because I've seen it with tiles or if I actually if I know for sure if it would be that fun. But I mean I think Uno being a simple game, here I'm
Yeah.
going to share it. Let's do this. Screen share this one. So full rack of tiles. Yeah, so in this it looks like you've got called
Oh,
Uno Rummy Up.
interesting.
Let's see.
Uno Rummy Up. Okay. Yeah. Especially if they're putting some kind of gin rummy mechanic in there, it really is a lot
Yeah.
like a Mahjong meets Uno. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
exactly. These are
I
actually
wonder
kind of
what other
cool.
games you could do that with.
Um, Dang, I kind of want this.
You should get it.
Oh, 100 tiles laid out with house 10. Because I
But
actually,
does it have the reverse and all that? I mean, how does that work?
that's the thing. I don't know if it has that.
I don't think
That's
it
what I would
would.
want. Well, actually, yeah, I see draw two. Hold on, let me see. One, go
Oh, and it
large.
has the little plastic things in front of you, so you can like. That's cool.
Um, Okay, tiles 2, 5, and 7 have special abilities. Yeah, I don't know, but that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, how do I stop my screen share? Oh, here you go. So,
Unshare it.
what was your question? Oh, what other game?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of a game that doesn't necessarily have too many cards that could do it. Cheaty Mages, maybe? Might be
Yeah.
fun. Uh, Great Dalmoody?
Yeah. Mm, that wouldn't be. I mean, it would just be a tile. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, there would be a ton. It
Yeah.
would be simple, though. Uh, I don't know. What do you think?
Um. Hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like all the games that we've played, but something that's more simple. Angry Bunny, Killer Bunnies.
Killer Bunny. How dare
It
you?
might be better if it had tiles.
True.
Um. Hmm. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's a question to ask everybody out there. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that the Uno one. It's interesting trying to get our parents into games and our grandparents. I feel like those would be the kind of games that would interest them more.
Yeah.
I really did want to get my mom into Mahjong. But it would be interesting to change up some rules to some games and then add that tile aspect to it and simplify it. That could actually get more people who are more into classic card game card game types actually into more tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this Rummy Up game for like $8.
Get it.
Yeah. Although I'm really curious how big those tiles are, 'cause
They're probably they
really
they could
tiny.
even be the card size. Well, I don't maybe not. I don't know.
No, they're not the card size. They're very tiny.
Little
It
little.
looks like they're a little bigger than like Scrabble tiles.
Oh. Yeah, maybe they do line up like that. Hmm.
Uno, Rummy Up. But anyways, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else.
Well, maybe something will come to mind later, but you were mentioning how, well, I've been watching you uh, look for different sets, different
Mm.
Mahjong sets, and there are some really cool ones that have like customizable backs on them,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that. I mean, I would be like Hello Kitty and like um, My Little Pony and just
Yeah.
everything. It would be so fun. I'd love that. I love bringing something to a party that says you on
Mm-hmm.
it. Like, this is mine, and this is just, I don't know, it's really fun. And I think it
Yeah,
even makes it more fun sharing with people, like, your customizable games.
right. For me, I was looking around for mahjong sets, and one of the things that was really important to me, and I'm see if I can pull this up. Uh, so a couple of things that I was looking for is I wanted to find Japanese versions of mahjong. The reason for that is that it comes with additional tiles that the Chinese version does not have, which would allow me to play any version I wanted. I'd be able to play the Chinese version, I'd be able to play the Japanese version, and anything else I've discovered so far. So the Japanese sets seem to be superior in that sense. The other thing the Japanese sets have, as I mentioned earlier, are those red fives, which are used for special scoring and stuff like that. Again, something that you don't have to use, but it's nice to have on hand. Let's see what else. The challenge I was coming across, and I was finding these things, and this was kind of important to me, is their color usage on the tiles. One of the things I noticed is that the actual designs printed on the tiles typically came in 3 different colors. And it would usually be like, let's say it was a white background. If it was a white background, which most of the tiles are, in fact, let me show you here. So you've got a white background, and the designs printed on them in most sets had 2 different colors. So like in this one it's black and red, and in some sets they had 3 different colors, which was usually red, green, and if it was a white background it would be black. Now the reason this is important is there is a tile that's called a white dragon, and there's a green dragon and there's a red dragon. So in a lot of these sets, the green dragon is painted in green, the red dragon is painted in red, and the white dragon is just a blank block, or it's this weird blue picture frame.
Yeah, picture frame, which is weird.
Which is weird, and
I mean,
who wants that? Ain't nobody got time for that.
I wish they really had dragons on there.
Well, but here's the thing. I found sets that had black backgrounds. Right? So this is a white background. I found sets that had black backgrounds.
So then they would have the white writing.
So that they would have the white writing. But in most cases, they would still just do a completely black blank tile, or they would have that white frame that just... Come on, people.
Yeah.
Now, I did end up finding a set. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
I ended up finding a set. Let's see, that had just about. Aha. Let me share it.
Yeah, screen share it, and then I'll click on you.
Yeah. So I found a set. This particular set that was just about perfect. You'll notice here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but you'll notice here it's got the green dragons printed in green, it's got the red dragons printed in red, and down here it's got the white dragons that actually has a white dragon symbol and the white dragons around the outside. Now they don't totally match up with these. I kind of wish it was just white symbols, like these characters here, I should say. But this is like, almost spot on.
It's way more creative and special.
Exactly.
Than just having the same. It's like you have the same thing everybody else has, and it's nice to find something that feels like, you have more of a unique set.
Right. Well, this is the part I got hung up on. It comes with the red 5s, but it comes with one red bamboo 5. It comes with 2 red spot 5s, and then the red 5 for characters, which are the one of the suits, is this circular gem thing, which honestly looks really cool. But for me, I'm like, why didn't you just have a red character, a red spots, and a red bamboo, and this could just be the extra totally awesome piece? Like, I don't know. I kind of like, I was pulling my hair out for a second. Go, why didn't you do that? It seems so logical. I'm just being super picky. Super picky. But if I was going to buy a nicer Mahjong set, this is probably the one I would buy. Or it would be porn. Okay, no.
Did you say porn?
Yes. Let's see. Um, see, maybe this one. Yeah, this is a pretty nice set too.
Ooh,
This one actually has the red character, red bamboo, and red fives. But, but,
but
yeah, but it's got the green dragons are all white, the red dragons are yellow, and
what?
the white dragons are white, but
That makes no sense.
it's I'm it's being picky. It's
Yeah,
being
but
picky.
that's confusing. That's confusing if you don't have the color. I don't know.
All I'm saying is that I have not found the perfect Mahjong set. And I'm sure there's probably some people out there who play Mahjong who are like, oh, you're just being super picky, that's dumb, it's always been that way, blah blah blah. But if you're gonna have a red dragon, make it red. If you're gonna have a green dragon, make it green. If you're gonna have a white dragon, make it white and make it actually look like a character or a dragon. I don't know. I guess I'm just being picky.
I'm trying to recall what they look like, but they look, as far as not just color, but the style, they look different enough to where if you couldn't tell between red and green, you could play.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Yeah, again, it's not a gameplay thing. It's not like you're gonna get confused necessarily, but it's one of
I
those
probably
things.
would, especially if it was yellow.
Uh, well, it's more so just this kind of, I guess, OCD or perfectionist kind of thing. You know, it'd be really weird if you had like, um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. Because the color in Mahjong, the color really doesn't matter. It could be black and white, and it wouldn't make a difference except for like the red fives, because the red actually means something.
Right.
So I'm just being picky, but in a perfect world, my red dragons would be red, etc., etc.
Cool.
And my red characters or red five characters would actually be characters and not a weird spot thing.
Oh, eventually you'll find it. And maybe, I don't know if there is a site out there where you can make full-on, like, customizable things.
I would love that. If I could like customize my own Mahjong set, I would go ham.
I would love that. I would love to have, like, I could see that. I don't know if it would make a lot of money, but classic games like Mahjong and chess and my brain just farted.
Checkers?
Checkers and games like that would be really fun to have more customization because
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the game's the same.
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna go bug like Munchkin to change the art or something because you want it to look different. But I feel like something like that is definitely
Those
doable.
classic games. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure there must be like I know
going
that.
beyond that, even going beyond that to some of the other more complex games that we remember from our childhood, having your own personalized Monopoly game might actually make it tolerable, or having your own personalized Sorry, or
I wish I had that. I have a German Sorry. I don't remember what it's called, but it's fun. It's really it's cute because it's like a smaller board, and everything's in German, and it's got little like wood pieces, and it's just really cute. I don't know, I just really like it. But yeah, actually, Monopoly. There's like a bazillion different Monopolies. There's like Dogs Monopoly and like Lord of the Rings Monopoly and
Right.
probably Star Wars Monopoly. I mean, I could see that being a thing where they have a site that's like, make your own Monopoly, Sonia Monopoly, I don't know, Uncharted
That would be
Monopoly.
That
Little
would be
dot,
pretty
little Leela Treasure Goblin Monopoly. You know?
fun.
Oh gosh, that would be fun. Yeah, maybe it would be more fun, especially if you could like personalize it and put things like from your own world on there. Even places that you frequent. Like instead of having like Boardwalk and all that other stuff, you could have like that restaurant that you like and that you know Emerald Nights or something on there, and depending on
Yeah,
what you think, what you determine
the value.
is most valuable or the best time you've had going to that place would be how much more expensive everything
Yeah.
would be.
Or
That would
or
be fun.
like if it's for couples, right? It could be
Hmm.
the Robert and Sonia Monopoly, and it could be these special places that we visited, or maybe it's emotional states of mind in the relationship.
Yeah,
You know,
that'd be fun.
just I don't know, just getting creative with it and have the different pieces like some could be shaped like a little pawn because we like to play games. Another one could be a squirrel. You
Mm.
know, they could I don't know, just there could be
Like
stuff.
this?
Yes,
Like
like
the
this.
squirrels? I was playing these with Caverna. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I have lots of squirrels. Yeah, that would be fun.
Truth.
I wonder what would be like maybe like the cheapest thing would be like oh my god. Okay, so it would be uh like Manoa Falls because that was like one of the best things we ever did, but it was like one of the cheapest things we ever did.
Hmm.
That could be like what is the cheapest one's Baltic, right? Or whatever it is. The purple
Something
one. What's the
like
purple
that.
one?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, that one. Yeah, that's fun.
Yep.
I say we make a Monopoly. Oh gosh.
Or just selling blank Monopoly sets
Yeah.
and let
You
people
could draw
draw
on
on it.
them. That would be cool. That would be fun. It's kind of like how you have the blank cards and everything. You just
Right.
I like that.
And I'm looking it up. Blank
Monopoly.
Monopoly board.
The
Oh my.
Monopoly people are watching us going, blank Monopoly. Well, they could actually do it where they have a bigger box and they it's just regular Monopoly, and then it comes with a blank board that you could do stuff yourself.
Huh.
That would be cool.
There are
Is it
actually
real?
a lot of templates online for Monopoly boards.
Cool. We should get crafty. That would be fun to do for someone's birthday. You could
Yeah, I
have
was gonna
people
say.
draw on it for them and make them their own Monopoly board
Yeah.
and put really stupid rules and stuff and just come up with weird things. That would be really cool. That would be such a nice, neat gift that would be so personalized and it would be fun.
I feel like you'd really have to know those people in order to do that.
Well, I mean, or you could have a party of your closest friends then.
Yeah,
Family.
yeah, and have everyone maybe draw on it or something.
Mm, that would be cool. I like that.
Mm.
I'd play that game. So, I don't know if you have any other things you want to say about Mahjong. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about plans for next season.
Only that it's just an interesting game, particularly because it's played with tiles, and I'm sure a lot of people who have seen it, who like games, or have been fascinated by it. And I would just strongly suggest that if you get a chance, you should play it. Try playing it.
I enjoyed it. I like the whole shoe pong thing. I like screaming it.
Yeah.
And it's no, just getting really crazy about it. I don't know how popular I would be with some groups, but with our friends, I think I was good. Yeah. That was very fun. I really enjoyed doing that and giggling and getting angry when I didn't get something I wanted, but not actually legitimately angry, just kind of like playful angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really fun. I think it's really great to, if you're looking to just have a couple of your friends over, to make it like a thing, like a weekly thing, um, to just add that personal experience to your life. I think that's really fun. So I guess I wanted to go quick for the last bits. I wanted to talk about my ideas for the next GameOut stuff I want to do, since we've been doing it for a while and we've been we've been playing with different, ideas of having discussions on particular topics, and then going kind of bouncing back and forth between, Steam games and app games and tabletop gaming. I wanted to, I guess, talk to you a little bit about, and for other people watching, about maybe some other ideas we might think we could delve into. You've mentioned before even maybe talking development, because we talk about games that exist, which is fun, but maybe it would be interesting to occasionally have a discussion about kinds of games we'd like to develop, or even stuff we are developing, or other people, if they wanted to share that, they were okay with doing that. Things like that. I don't know if there's other ideas. Doing Mahjong, I was thinking of, I kind of wanted to maybe do once in a while, do a really old basic game and kind of talk about maybe the influence it might have on us or on other games that exist, that came to be later, something interesting like that. Chess and Pai Gow, even just simple things like that. What might be kind of interesting to go back. Really old games like what is Senate? That's a really old one. Things like that. Just kind of talking about it might be interesting.
Yeah.
But I think the development would be fun. I still, of course, want to play other games I haven't played yet, just because it gives me an excuse to force myself to play them. And then we could even revisit games and talk about their development since we talked about them last. Like our very, very first GameOut was on Minecraft. Right. And there's a lot of stuff that's happened in Minecraft since we had our first discussion. And I think that might be interesting to go back on some of those that actually develop. Like, there are games that are standalone, there's no real development for them, but there might be a few in there that we could actually talk about. Where is it now, and how do we feel about it now, and where would we like it to go in the future? What would we like to see? What would be interesting about it? Things like that would kind of be cool too.
I agree.
Yeah. So maybe even revisiting. So this has been quite a long time. We've done quite a few things. We haven't done we did app games for a little while, and we haven't really gotten back into that. We kind of pushed that aside for a little while, and I kind of want to go back to that too a little bit. Maybe do several, because they're pretty quick to play, and you don't really finish half of them, really. There's no finish. They just keep going. But maybe some newer ones that might be interesting that are coming out. Could talk about our game, Kernips. And when that comes out too, and talk about kind of the history behind it, if anybody isn't familiar with our history and what we've been through to create it. Things like that. But I think the next GameOut that I want to do would be the Kerbal Space Program. And I also want to get back to recording myself doing like little playthroughs. I did that way in the first year, way at the beginning. I was doing that for a while, and I kind of stopped, and I miss doing that, and I miss sharing that with people. I'm not the greatest gamer, but I think that's part of the appeal sometimes with me, watching me fail. And but still having fun. I mean, I get the point across of what the game's about enough to share that. So I'd like to do that again too. Do you have anything that you want to see us do this next coming year that I haven't already mentioned, or elaborate on something I've mentioned?
Well, I'd definitely like to maybe do some kind of development type thing, but I also have a feeling that most of the people who I think would be willing to talk would not be willing to share their ideas yet or at all, because they're fairly secretive about that. But what might be kind of fun to do is do game mods. So, like, for example, I like the game Core Worlds, but there are some things I'd like to change about the game and try it and see how it is. So it might be interesting to say, okay, our next game out's going to be Core Worlds, and it's special mod edition of GameOut, and these are the changes in the rules, or this is how we're going to play the game differently. And then we can talk about it during the next game out. Be like, yeah, it was good, it was bad, this was fun, this wasn't fun, how I'd do it different next time, etc., etc.
Yeah, that would be cool to do. Yeah, whatever modifications on it. And then, like I was saying with like the whole Minecraft thing, maybe we could share like what we did like on a private server or something like that. I guess sharing like changes that we've done to things, and that would be interesting. But game mods would be fun, and even ones that we could even talk about variants on things too. Like typically people will just play the base, and we could talk about the difference between like the base game and the variants, and how we feel about those, and then what kind of variants we could make.
Right. Well, and I guess that's what I mean by mod, is our own variant.
Yeah. That would be fun. I'm writing notes. I'm taking notes.
Good.
So yeah, that would be good. I'm excited. And I'm going to try to improve quality all around, try to get people to, new people to show up, and more people to watch, hopefully, and better sharing, and also, share more things about the games ahead of time. Share other videos, other playthroughs, my playthroughs, just different websites, different articles, things like that.
Yeah.
We want to do that before we come on here, so people get enough opportunity.
That kind of reminds me. I remember you and I were collecting articles from Game Developer Magazine and other places. I still want to actually finish going through all those and finish creating that binder. But that's a lot of material. We could seriously transition, even just do a year of game development and design discussions. And use those articles and other things as a foundation for those discussions.
I think I still want to have a variety, though. I think I want to do more of that. I want to kind of make something new, but I still want to go once in a while, just have it where we're just playing a game this month and it's going to be fun.
Oh, right. Yeah. But I guess in terms of the amount of content you could have, it could be that much.
Yeah. I'm still going to keep it to the once a month format, because I feel like that's a good amount of time to get something done. And I apologize out there that we got so behind with this last one, but we'll try to keep on track. And we'll try to be as good as I can about putting a notification out there that I'm changing things, because I'm the one behind all that.
Yes.
That's what I do. So I need to make sure to do that. Yep. So, any last words in our last 5 minutes? We can talk about anything. I made really not as that great Thai iced tea today, and I'm sad about it.
You tried. I was a little sad too, but I think we've learned.
Yeah. I am I'm intolerant of the lactose, so I can't do the whole cream thing. So I tried to find an alternative to that, and that didn't really work out that well. So yeah, I tried. So that would have been the thing that I'm like, I'm drinking this tonight, but I'm not really drinking it that much because I don't like it that much. Anyway. Maybe we could do some of that too. Share little tidbits. Oh wait,
I'm thinking of just boiling it.
Again? Show it.
Huh? Oh.
Show them the tea. It looks good. It looks like carrot juice.
I'm thinking maybe boiling off some of the water, like most of the water.
Yeah, I think it's just too much liquidy things together. Not good. But I can taste that the spices and the tea bags are good, though. So that's a plus. Anyways, so that's what I would have been drinking tonight. A non-dairy version of Thai iced tea that did not work. Poor me with my lactose intolerance.
Poor you.
I know.
There's a dog behind me.
Yeah, I also have a little dog behind me. That's what we do. We just have little dogs everywhere. I will also feature Leela more often because our little treasure goblin is hilarious. And she needs to be part of it. little dragon. So cute. Yep. So yarp. I got nothing.
I gotta pee really bad.
Okay, well, it's only 3 more minutes. So good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Sorry this wasn't like the most exciting GameOut ever, but I hope that'll change. And hope you will stay tuned with us. Let me share this real quick. Okay, so the next one's gonna be, I'm pretty sure. No, it's not going to be that day because I have things to do. Crud. You know what? I'm going to have to move it to November because October is a crazy, crazy busy month. So I'm sorry. There won't be one next month. Unless... I want to keep it till Sundays. So the next one will be November 2nd, 7 p.m. on G+ and YouTube. As always, I just lost my thing. Okay, there it is. And I want to do Kerbal's Space Program. Hopefully I said that right. It's on Steam. Don't know if there's any sales right now. I got it on sale. It could be on sale. Who knows? So play it. So far what I've seen is it's fun and crazy, and I'm going to be really bad at it, and I'm going to share my terrible video with you about how, well, I don't know, maybe I'll be good at it, but I can't promise anything. So I'll still share something. Alright, so good night!
Bye-bye.